from Brothers and Sisters, you became firm favorite on there. What was it about this show that you decided would be the next one you would tackle?
Honestly, it was the script. It was so different than anything I had read or anything that's on television. I mean, it really is sort of a hybrid of a bunch of different sort of genres and shows and movies, and I really was attracted to the script. And then Terry was signed on to play Gavin. I was sort of friends with Terry over the years at ABC, and it was like perfect at playing Gavin. I was picturing in my head, and then I was lucky enough, they gave it to me, and I mean, the rest is history.
So is Henry the dumbest player ever?
Everyone's saying to read the contract, but I got to be honest. Like, I signed my lease. I was like this, when my wife and I just moved to New York, I did the same thing. There could have been some sort of blueprint in there, but yes.
Wow, you just moved.
Oh, well, I'm originally from New York, but the show shoots here. Yeah, so we moved back, and and I also can say trying to find an apartment in New York and the prices. I'm like, I'd sign my soul to the devil right there. I'm like, yeah, take it. 2-bedroom, done. I mean, but for that money, I think for that place, I hope the laundry room was actually in. For the audience sake, for Jane's sake, it was actually in the apartment instead of going down to the basement.
Yeah,
I'm going to start a drinking game. Yeah, every time she's down there, you got to do a shot.
But that idea of selling your soul, is there anything that would come close to that for you? Something you really want that you would even consider?
Well, I mean, selling your soul is a little, but I'd sacrifice a few things for a fantasy football championship this year. I started off really slow. I sacrificed, relative, take them, but I think, in all seriousness, there is that level. Everybody's got their wish, desire, and what would they be to be the pinnacle or the top of their class, to be Tom Brady? What would you sacrifice? And I think that our show has done a real great job of touching on it, and they will continue as the scripts keep moving in.
There's been a lot of talk about the building as a character, and the executive producer was just saying that they're trying to sort of like bring the building into the storytelling of the character. How do you guys feel about that interaction with the building?
I mean, so far Henry's character is not aware of anything supernatural that's going on. I mean, he is under the sort of trance of Gavin, and Gavin we have this sort of devil's advocate-y type relationship where, I think Henry's going to be Gavin's protege, whatever he's grooming him to be. We'll find out a little bit more in tonight's episode. But there's definitely a purpose of why Gavin wants Henry. But as to the building, Henry's pretty much staying away. Apparently he doesn't do laundry, which is great. Maybe that's in his contract. Maybe that's all you. Yeah. But the building is a really important character in the show, and I think as these, scripts and episodes air, you'll find out more and more about the mythology and the sort of puzzle box that is the show.
How would you describe your character?
Well, I think when we meet Henry, he's sort of a Boy Scout, and obviously he has all these political aspirations and wants to go into that political field, but I think, his ambition may get in the way of, there's a reason why Henry and Jane moved to New York, and I think it has a lot to do with where Henry wants to end up, and there might be a point where, he has to sacrifice something to get what he wants, and it's been really fun as these episodes come in to start adding layers to Henry, so he's not, just the Henry in the pilot.
I can't figure out if he's going to go bad or...
Me neither, girl, but I'm excited, and I think, if anybody where we find Henry and Jane right now is going to make that choice, I think it is Henry.
Do you have an idea of where you wanted him to go? Would you really like to see them?
I mean, listen, I think going dark would be a lot of fun. But I don't know if we'll get there, but, I could toss people into a wall or something. I think it'd be cool. I practice at home.
How different is the process here on so much secrecy? I mean, was it the same, similar with Brothers and Sisters, or how much do you know?
No, it's actually much different. They don't tell us anything. Yeah. So when we're actually on that panel up there, every question that was directed to the producer is like, what's happening? What's happening? I was like, do we stick around for season 2? Henry and Jane get killed off. I just got an apartment. Yeah. Mama's got to eat, So, But yeah, I mean, they really try and keep us in secrecy, and they've led into some bigger moments. But also, as an actor, I don't want to know too much because you don't want to play the future. And I think Henry and Jane are the eyes of the audience. We're discovering everything as the audience is.
That's what they were saying, the producers, that they want you to experience those moments and get the genuine reactions.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
Genuine scares.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, we're all fans of the show. So every time the script comes in, we're flipping the pages, seeing what's going on, and as these episodes air, I think you learn more and more about these characters and the building, and it's really, they have a plan. It's great.
Now, I wouldn't say this is definitely just a horror series. It's got strong characters. It's a good dramatic series. Your fans, from what you've done up to this point, have you heard any feedback from them on this new role in the new show?
Yeah, I actually have, and I think for the most part, people are really liking it. I mean, listen, Sundays at 10, Brothers and Sisters was very lucky. It's a really tough time slot. It's late at night, people going to bed. I'm saying, and, we live in a time of DVR now and everything. So, but the reaction on the street, people have just been really liking the show, and as it's airing, people are understanding more and getting more, and are excited to see next week and tonight's episode, and once that starts to unfold, I think people are really in.
I think at San Diego you called it that it was going to be a water cooler show.
Yeah, little chatter.
Yeah.
Mondays, and I think after tonight's episode, you start to see little hints and droplets of what's about to come, and I think it'll get everyone talking. Whether Gavin's the devil, whether he's not the devil, what's his plan with Henry, and it's really great stuff.